Hello, hello, everybody. Just getting everything set up to have this conversation today. So if you'll be patient with me for one moment, I want to make sure I'm recording. I want to make sure we're live out on my business page, and we are. Fantastic. So welcome to anyone who's watching from Facebook Live, and welcome to you guys who have registered to be here today. So for any reason, if you have to if you have to duck out or get off early or whatever, replay will be going out within a 48-hour time frame. Say hello in the chat, please. I'd love to hear where you guys are, where you live, and why you're here today. What's your curiosity about my opinion or this conversation or anything about the case with Heather V. Castillo? I hope I'm saying that right. It's possible I'm not, because I'm not perfect, but we're going to talk about several things here today. So I've got windows open over here because I want to read you guys some things. And hi, Kelly. And I want to really get into the meat of maybe where all this nervousness is coming from, talk a little bit more in depth about the health coaching profession and what it looks like to us today, what it looked like 10 years ago when I started, and all of the freaking confusion around it. It's getting to the point. I was having this conversation yesterday. Hi, Tanya and Denise and Linda. I see you guys popping in the chat. Wonderful. Mary Louise. Hi, Mary Louise. Where have you been? And Robin, and great. Awesome. Keep it coming. Tell me, tell me where you live. Tell me where are you in your health coaching business? But most of all, I'd like to, when I go back and read the chats about this stuff. Hi, Tanya. Hi, guys. And I've missed you too, Mary Louise. I like to know where your fears are around the subject of health coaching. Where are you afraid of health coaching because of this situation? Has it got you nervous about continuing your business? Have some conversations, because I go back and I read the chats. I save them into a file and I go back and I see what's going on with you guys. So, and the reason I do this, you guys, is because I educate and mentor health coaches. It's what I do, but I'm also a health coach as well. So it's important to me that I understand where your fears are and where your needs are coming from and what your concerns are about the health coaching profession. So we're going to start off by basically giving you a little bit of background about me. I see a lot of new names on here, a lot of people that I don't know yet. Yes, questions, put them in the Q&A. I will look at the chat, but if you want to make sure I don't miss them, put them in the Q&A box there. 3 little buttons down to the left of the chat. Hi, Dennis. Hi there. So if you're new to me, which it looks like a lot of you are, we've had a lot of people register for this in just a short period of time. I have been a health coach for over 10 years. I am the founder of the Institute for Functional Health Coaching, a school that I created to fill in all the gaps that were existing from other schools that I was seeing and hearing about as I was mentoring and teaching health coaches through a series of courses back starting in 2013. So and I'm not pitching the school, I'm giving a background here, but I do encourage you to go out and see what we're all about and who we are. I really work hard to make sure that those pieces that aren't being taught or shared out in the world of health coaching, that I am bringing them to you. Telling the truth about things, being transparent, answering questions, telling you whether or not things are relevant, sharing information to help you to get over the hump of maybe the fear that you feel. So one of the things that's the biggest confusion here with health coaching is certifications. I did a whole training on this last week. I'm not going to go over it again because I've done 2 trainings and multiple live videos about certifications. So the thing is this, the brief of it is this, is that a certification or a certificate of completion is just a certificate you get upon finishing a health coaching program. Now, whether or not you go to FDN, IIN, SAFM, my school, IFHC, the Institute, it doesn't matter where you go, Bowman College. If they provide you with a certificate of completion, it is a certificate, a piece of paper that says you completed the program, okay? So it holds very little weight when it comes to the weight that nutritionists and dietitians and practitioners and doctors carry when they finish degrees to be able to talk to people about these topics that health coaches seem to skirt on the edge of, right? So one of the main things for me as an educator and a mentor and someone that really, truly, first of all, wants to see you succeed, but also believes that we should be able to help people without all this worry, is that I want you to understand that no matter where your certification comes from, no matter what your background is, it is our responsibility as health coaches to be good stewards of our clients' money, of their time, of their emotions, of their feelings, where they are in the start of the beginning of your relationship with them, how they get to where they want to go, right? So you'll often hear me saying, Health coaches help people get from where they are to where they want to be in a low stressful way, financially, emotionally, and physically. And I'm going to read a couple of things to you in just a moment here. But what I'm trying to get to is this: is a health coach can be your, as one of my old people a couple of years ago from one of my courses used to say, it could be the local GNC guy with the ring in his nose, right? Calling himself a health coach because he works in the supplement section. It could be somebody that works at the vitamin shop that recommends a new protein. It could be anybody selling a multi-level marketing, calling themselves, calling themselves health coaches. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of those positions. We need all of them, right? We need all of them. We even need multi-level marketing people out there for specific reasons. I'm not going to go into those, but we need everyone that's doing something in our wellness space, whether it's to teach us how to do things differently, to teach us that that people care. It doesn't matter. But the point of it is if you do this business, if you do this job and you create this business and you do it in a responsible way, right, and a safe way, then you have a business. But if you are running around in fear and you don't know the laws and you think your certificate protects you and you don't have disclaimers and you don't know whether or not you should have sales tax, you don't know about licensing and you're not sure about safe language, you don't have a business. You have what I call a desire and a passion for a business, but you don't have a solid business. You've got to have a foundation. And one of the foundations of that is understanding and knowing the truth about this profession. First thing I want to say is this: let's all just take a deep breath around this story. Okay. So there's a couple things I'm going to point out in it, and I'm going to hopefully, take away this fear mongering stuff that seems to be going on and help you to relax a little bit. So 10 years ago when I started health coaching, there wasn't any of this stuff going on. There were dietitians and there were nutritionists in the mainstream. And whenever people would ask me what I do, I struggled to tell them, because I was working on food and I was helping them with exercise and I was looking at thyroid stuff. So I struggled when I first got started and I was using words I shouldn't use. So I would say, well, I help people look at their nutrition to see what's not working. Well, number one, we shouldn't be using the word nutrition. We're not nutritionists, because then people would say to me, oh, so you have a nutrition degree? No. No. So we look at their diet. Oh, so you're a dietitian? No, I'm not that either. But we do look at thyroid. So you're a doctor? No. Okay. So this caused me very early on in my career as a health coach to figure it out, that I needed to be super clear that I was none of those things, that I didn't want to overstep the boundaries of what I was trying to do to help people. And I knew what I wanted to do, but I just didn't know what the name was or how to get there in a safe way. Thus, all the research in the first year of my health coaching business was lots of mistakes, lots of sleepless nights, wondering what in the heck I'd gotten myself into, knowing I had a passion. How do I deliver it, right? So I started doing some research, and I'm telling you, it was scant. It was not highly available. There were no mentors. No one was out there building businesses, but lots of people were trying to get people to become health coaches without a definition. So let's look at this just a moment here. I'm going to pull I'm going to leave my screen over here where I can look at it. Okay, if you have not been to nutritionadvocacy.org yet, then you've never heard of me, because I preach about it all the time. That's the first place a health coach needs to go. And here's the deal, you guys. This is nutritionadvocacy.org. And I'm just reading from the page, because if I bring it over here, there's going to be too much going on. So this is what they say about health and wellness coaching. So go ahead, and what I'm going to do here, just to make this for ease of use, I'm going to type this in here. And I see all of you guys talking. Keep it up, guys. I'm totally okay with you guys talking in the chatting about what we're discussing here. It brings up lots of questions and stirs up creativity. Questions go in the Q&A. So it says here, health and wellness coaching is an emerging field with a variety of practitioners providing a diversity of wellness services. So then it says, coaching tools may be utilized as a primary profession or combined with other health professions. In states with dietetics or dietetics nutrition exclusive scope of practice laws, the applicability of the practice law varies depending on whether or not the coach combines health and wellness coaching with another health profession. Okay, so let me break that down for you. If someone is a dietitian and they're a health coach, then the laws are not the same for them. Okay, if you are just a health coach and you don't have a dietetics or a nutritionist degree or anything like that, you are not considered able to follow the laws of the nutritionists and the dietitians. Okay, so basically, what I always tell people: if you are a nurse and a health coach, you are a dietitian and a health coach, you are a chiropractor and a health coach, and I have students from all of those areas. you need to take off the hat you're wearing and put the other one on that says health coach and follow these guidelines, okay, that they put into place for health coaches. So skipping forward, it says, okay, so hold on a moment. It says, what can you use nutrition tools in your practice? Okay, when can you use nutrition tools in your practice? My bad, sorry. In states with exclusive scope of practice laws, health and wellness coaches and any other unlicensed individual, which is Heather from Florida, right? They were talking about her being non-licensed. Let's see here. May provide information about and support for food, diet, and lifestyle changes that do not fall within the set of activities set out in the specific state's nutrition and dietetics scope of practice laws and regulations. In other words, get familiar with what nutritionists and dietitians are doing in your state by looking at this page, nutritionadvocacy.org, right? And okay, yeah, Dennis, put your question in Q&A for me and expand on that a little bit for me. And you don't follow those laws because you are not them. So it's almost like a reverse thing. If they're able to say diet, you are not. If they say nutrition, you are not. If a doctor says prevent and cure, you should not say that. Okay, to go on just a little bit more, and then I'm going to move into another one here. Hold on, let's see here. Providing publicly available information about, encouragement, or support for healthy food, diet, and lifestyle that may prevent disease or improve overall health when not specifically recommended for a medical condition generally falls within this exemption. Okay, what does that mean? That means if a health coach is out there providing a publicly available information, hear me now, okay? This is very important, okay? Publicly available information means that this is general information. Encouragement and support for healthy food, diet, and lifestyle that may prevent disease and improve overall health when not specifically recommended for a medical condition. In other words, if someone comes to you and they've got diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and they say to you, I have type 2 diabetes and I need to hire you to help me reverse this before they put me on metformin, or if it turns into type 1 diabetes, whatever, okay? And you say to them, oh yeah, I can absolutely give you a diet that's geared towards reversing type 2 diabetes. You're out of scope of practice, okay? Now, if you say to them, and this is the approach I teach at my school, 100% hands down general information, period, all the way from the language and delivery on everything you need to know to safely help people. This is what you would say, okay? You're a health coach, someone comes to you, type 2 diabetes. They want you to help them to reverse it. And they want you to give them a meal plan. They want you to tell them everything they're supposed to be doing, okay? So what I teach my coaches, and believe me when I tell you, I saw responses from when you guys registered. There are a lot of people that have no idea what it means to be responsible and safe, but I know who my students were because I read their answers. We would say something like this. So here's what I can do. I'm a health coach that helps people to move away from a standard American lifestyle into a more whole foods type of lifestyle according to what your goals and needs are based on your instincts and decisions, okay? So what that means is, yes, I absolutely can provide you with information on the things I think will be helpful to help you to reverse your diabetes, right? To make decisions that are going to be helpful, to give you the resources you need to make decisions, like all of the things we say, making decisions based on your instincts, helping you to make choices. This is all putting things back in the client's hands. Okay, is this making sense? Tell me if you need more of explanations, you guys, in the chat. I will go look at that. But if this makes sense to you, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know that too. But here's the thing. So when they come to me and they say that, and I've had type 2 diabetes clients, lots of them over the years, and I've said to them, there are a couple of food plans and approaches that I think might be beneficial for you to consider. I'm going to grab a couple of those resources. I don't want to overwhelm you. And I want you to get real familiar with both of them and make a decision on which approach you want to take. And of course, I want you to talk to your doctor about this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a practitioner. I'm just here to guide you in a way that ends the overwhelm of what the internet is trying to tell you, okay? Or what other people are trying to tell you. Because we know that when someone ends up with something, they start talking to their friends about it. And the next thing you know, every family member and every friend has a great opinion on how to take care of things, but most of them are on insulin, they're on medication, they're on statins, they're eating poorly, they're not moving their bodies, etc. So what happens to somebody that is looking for support from a health coach or someone to help them with whatever topic it is, and I just use type 2 diabetes as an example. You can stick the thousands of conditions out there people are looking for help with. They are looking for somebody that can help them focus in, dig into and investigate where's the problem coming from without giving them 700 opinions, 500 resources, a lot of overwhelming information that makes them feel worse and hopeless. Okay. Now, if someone goes to a dietitian, they're going to get probably an outline of, how they should eat less carbohydrates, more whole grains, less refined foods, whatever, but they're not going to support the other pieces of what's happening with that person's life. So this is another reason why health coaches are so important, you guys. I can't tell you how many people that I've helped that have come to me and said, I've been to 5, 10 doctors. No one's been able to help me. They gave me a big list of foods I shouldn't eat, but they never told me how to get through this process and get on the other side. That's what we're here for. So one more time, you guys, when it says every state is different here, read the exemptions in the law regulating dietetics and other nutrition of the states in which you practice. In addition, some states have additional laws protecting the use of some alternative and complementary practices. So we're talking about, Reiki or massage or kinesiology, like alternative and complementary practices. Where these exist, they are noted and linked in the summary of each state law. So you should review those as well if you're using any of those things in your practice. So one of the myths I'm seeing about people who are getting into health coaching, first of all, is that they get in and they think, oh, all I got to do is know a bunch of stuff and then, get a license and I'm off and running and I'm helping people, right? It's not that simple, but it is that simple. Helping people only becomes complicated when you are told or taught that you have to learn all of these different modalities and all of these different diseases, and you've got to study labs and you have to understand the body inside and out. It's not your job to do that. If that's what you want to do, here's my recommendation. Go to medical school, go be a naturopathic doctor, get some sort of degree or something that's going to give you that freedom. Go ahead and be a dietitian, be a nutritionist, whatever you want to do. But be prepared to be regulated by the laws on those professions as well. So as it stands today, health coaching is unregulated by like the FDA or by anyone saying that we can't call ourselves something, okay? All right, excuse me, my nose is itching. All right, so here's what I want to tell you. Let me go to another page here. This right here, I've read this before, but I read it this morning and I thought, are you kidding me right now? Like as if it's not confusing enough to be a health coach. Wikipedia, okay, which I know a lot of people don't believe in, but a lot of people use it, so we got to use it. Health coaching is the use of evidence-based, skillful conversation, clinical intervention, and strategies to actively and safely engage client patients in health behavior change. Health coaches are certified or credentialed to safely guide clients and patients who may have chronic conditions or those to moderate to high risk for chronic conditions. I want to write to these people and tell them how wrong they have this. But I can't because there's no regulation and everybody gets to call health coaching what they want. So pros and cons to that. For me, I opened a school. I decided to have my own definition of health coaches. And I'm going to read that to you in a minute. But if I go out online to find out what is a health coach, right? If I were someone that never knew, but I knew I had a story and I wanted to help people, I would have 1,000 different definitions of what a health coach is, because if you open an institution or you open a school or you have a course or you have a training program, you get to call it whatever you want. Yeah, isn't that crazy? There is no standard definition of health coaching. It's wherever you go. It's whatever program you look at. It's whatever school you look at. And listen, I had nothing to hide. I opened a school. I teach this stuff. So I'm in there too, but I'm full on telling you, I created a definition because I wasn't happy with anybody else's definition. I think there's actually a movie about that, where someone said, I didn't like the definition of this, so I created my own. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember that. And I think that's what I do. If I don't like the definition of something and there's no regulation around it, and sometimes even if there is, if I want to define something, I make it up. So here's my definition. And then we're going to get to reading some of her case stuff I'm going to share with you guys, which, oh, for the love. Okay. What is a functional health coach? And I call it functional because I believe that we have to address everyone from head to toe. Head to toe. We are not supporting a functional lifestyle if we don't go over everything with our clients, right? So this is what I have created. This is what I wrote. This is what my school functions on. This is what I believe to be the best, most least stressful method of health coaching, period, for the coach and the client. The Institute for Functional Health Coaching believes a health coach is someone who uses safe language and delivery of information. That means in writing and verbally. They meet their client where they are and take them to where they want to be. They will support the client by suggesting changes be based on what the client feels is the least stressful approach, physically, emotionally, and financially, and depends on the client's instincts as the client takes action. The health coach will use expert resources and recommendations that empower and inspire the client to make their own decisions for a sustainable outcome. We believe this is the lowest risk and highest efficiency approach to health coaching. Why do we believe that? Well, there's 1,000 different reasons, but most of all, because we want to do what doctors are supposed to do, right? We want to do no harm. And in order to do that, we have to, as health coaches, start depending on the client's instincts and their ability to know what's best for them. Even when they tell us that they want us to create a meal plan, even when they tell us that they want us to tell them what supplements to take, that is not our job. And we are not less than if we don't do it. We are not less than if we don't write our own meal plan for these people. We are not less than if we don't know everything there is to know about zonulin and leaky gut and all of that. We are not less than just because we don't have a bunch of letters, as one of my students called it, alphabet soup the other day, behind our name. We are not less important. We are not less anything as a health coach unless we make it so. And the only thing that's making it so for you, if you believe that you are less than because of letters or knowledge or whatever, is yourself. Okay, so I'm here to tell you right now that if we use the experts out there that are doing this already, we're talking about the Dr. Alan Christensen's and the Isabella Wentz and the, all of the people. I mean, I'd come up with a list of 1 million. And if we use their resources and we use them, we are then creating efficiency in our practice, and we're staying within our scope of practice because we're not making anything up or giving anyone information that we customized for them. Okay. So I'm going to go over to another thing here because there's so many things wrong. Hold on a moment. I got to pull my window back up. It just scooted away. There are so many things wrong with how they define health coaching in here by, first of all, evidence-based, skillful conversation. I've done lots of mentoring with coaches, and this is absolutely one of the biggest needs that coaches have is how to learn how to talk to their people in a safe way. No one's teaching that. We teach it, but I'm not hearing it being taught anywhere, which creates this fear in coaches that they may say the wrong thing. They're not confident enough to go out into the world. So this evidence-based skillful conversation comes with experience. So if you haven't gone to a bunch of courses and classes and learned how to speak and Toastmasters groups and all that stuff, don't freak out about it. Experience is what gives you the skill to have conversations with your clients. And also, you guys, everyone's different. So the other thing that's wrong here, clinical intervention. So let's go lean to the world of medicine for a moment, okay? Which is where this seems to be coming from. Like they think only health coaches that are working in medical practices deserve to be called health coaches is what that reads to me. So clinical interventions and strategies to actively and safely engage, and they say patients in health behavior change. Help me, right? It says client patients, but they still include the word patients in here, which makes me crazy. These are not patients to us. These are clients to us, okay? They're patients to doctors. Health coaches are certified or credentialed. No, they're not. Not all of them. I wasn't when I started. To safely guide clients and patients who may have chronic conditions or those at moderate to high risk for chronic conditions. What about people who are just struggling because they don't have support? What about people who are just looking to make a positive change, to shift and awaken? This is crap. I would not look at the health coaching as a definition on Wikipedia, but that is what people are looking at. So be mindful when you're out in the world telling people who you are and what you do, that this is not a definition that you're using. Okay. I wanted to bring that to your attention because it is Wikipedia. It is one of the larger defined places that people go to look. Okay, so give me 1 second and let me pull up this article that I know you guys are waiting to hear about. So hold on a moment. And I'm hoping, did you guys get a chance to read that? Tell me if you didn't get a chance to read or you don't even know what I'm talking about here when it comes to this Heather de Castillo, an unlicensed health coach thing we're talking about today. So here's what it says. It says, and you know what? I'm going to drag this over, I think. I'm going to drag this over. Hold on. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So I'm going to pull this up. And if somebody could tell me in the chat that you can see my window in a moment, that would be fantastic. Hold on. Okay. Can you guys see this okay? And this is like totally laid back chat, guys. So whatever you want to talk about is fine. We're just covering a lot of, yes, thank you so much. We're covering a lot of information here. Okay. So this is Heather. The briefing on it, basically she moved from another state. She moved into Florida. She took her business from where she was living into Florida, and she continued running her health coaching business as she was, first of all, It was called Constitution Nutrition, which to me sounds very nutritionist and kind of authoritative. So Constitution Nutrition, first of all, don't use the word nutrition in anything on your, this is my opinion. This isn't me directing you. It's my sharing my opinion and what I've seen work and not work, and wanting to make sure you guys are not doing what doesn't work and what's illegal. So using the word nutrition anywhere, like in your name of your business, in your tagline, in your descriptions, in your bulleted list of what you do, and even in your title. Okay. So I've heard people calling themselves holistic nutrition coach, integrative nutrition coach. What else is there? I mean, other things. Just don't use the word nutrition in there is all I'm telling you. It's going to be a red flag for something like this to happen. The other thing I want to say is this, before we continue, is you all realize that this is one person. Okay. Does everyone realize this is one person? This is one case that we're hearing about. I'm sure there's other things happening out in the world. I'm sure that this is going to happen again to someone else. But this is a perfect example of like kind of herd mentality, where one thing happens, all the negativity goes to it. And because we're not a mainstream profession and we're not regulated, all of this attention is going to this one person in this one case. Okay. So the reason I want everyone to take a deep breath and relax about this is because it's one person. Okay. It's just like when, what was it that broke out not long ago? I can't remember. Was it TB or something like that? Somebody got TB and it started, a couple cases started popping up. And I think it was like, to put it in perspective, and I'm making this number up because I don't read the news. I don't watch the news. It comes into Facebook. I usually don't look at, I'm just not a media person, but here's what usually happens. Let's just say 4 people ended up with TB across the United States. 4 people have tuberculosis. The whole world, or the whole United States, is going to freak out, and everyone's going to start going, talking about how anti-vaxxers are the reason for all of this. How many people are in the United States? How many people live here? And if 3 or 4 people have a problem, the media blows it up into this huge thing. So that's what's happening here. You're seeing it everywhere because we're in the profession of health coaching. So of course you're going to see this everywhere, but it's one person. Okay. All right. So what happened was, this just shows you another reason why we need to be mindful of what we say and do. We never know what's happening. But basically it's and I can't believe she did 13 home consulting sessions, 12 of which cost $95 each. Talk about underpricing your value. Sorry, Heather, but that's ridiculous. $95. I mean, that's so low. If you are all that in a bucket of chicken or whatever, which you probably are, because you seem relatively intelligent to me, that's a very low price. Anyway, back to the other thing. Once I get going on stuff like that, forget it. Okay, so then it says, under a Florida state law called the Dietetics and Nutrition Practice Act, DNPA, okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Nutrition advocacy would show you that there are dietetics and nutrition practice acts in the state of Florida. Anyone offering such services needs to be qualified and licensed to protect against bogus advice that could cause significant harm. Now, here's the question that we don't know a lot about, because we don't know a lot about the details of her business, but I can speculate that if she was using a word like nutrition in her name, she was probably giving nutrition advice or talking about nutrition with her clients, or even maybe writing meal plans. We don't know. I don't know what was in her business. I would love to know. In fact, I'd love to be an advocate for the business that represented her, because I've got a big mouth. But I also think that I could figure out how to calm things like this down, because this makes no sense. If she was practicing in a general approach, right, the approach of using safe language and delivery and making sure that we don't make decisions for people, and we're very clear that it's up to the client, and we know that they should practice, they should be tied to a practitioner. If she was practicing that way, they could have knocked this thing to the ground, because there would be nothing wrong with sharing general information. As I read to you guys earlier, if you'll recall from Nutrition Advocacy, if it's public information, it's general information, and that is okay. Are you guys tracking me? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to this in a minute, but let me take a peek at the chat. And I do talk 100 miles an hour for anyone who's new to me. I'm never going to be a slow talker. I have a lot to cover. Joan, let's see here. Been away since I checked in with you following the case. Curious to hear your opinion. Yes. Thank you, Linda. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Scrolling down. Yeah, Denise says, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a new coach planning to move to Florida. Yikes. Don't say yikes. Don't put the panic on yourself about that. There are ways to do this, you guys. There are absolute ways to do this. Hi, Simone. Nice to see your face too. Welcome back from your vacation, which looked amazing. Yeah, Mary Louise, I want to hear an update on you. Send me an email, please. Hi, Joan. Hi, everybody. Okay. And Beth says she's still nervous about this. Okay, here we go. Some questions. Does it matter if you live in a state with health freedom laws? Does what matter? What you say, how you present, what you write? Christina, if you can give me more about that, let me know. But if you live in the United States, nutrition advocacy is where you need to go, and that's what you need to be familiar with. Health freedom laws, I guess I'm going to have to look at them individually because we don't have them here in Tennessee. I'm in a red state. We're very prohibitive. So I would have to look and see what state you're talking about. Hi, Dennis. I hope to start working on a master's in science and alternative medicine to be a health and wellness coach. Well, you don't need to do all that to become a health coach. You don't absolutely. But if you want to, it'll put some oomph behind it, but you got to make sure you keep yourself separated from whatever position that would be for. So if you're getting a science and alternative medicine to be a naturopath or a doctor, then you can't be a health coach and a doctor at the same time. It's very, very gray area there. Leslie says, I'm a nurse and starting a new health coaching business. I'm concerned in my orange state that I'll be liable to my professional license. You will not be, Leslie, if you practice as a health coach. I mentioned earlier that I've had nurses in my school, and I tell them all the time, take your nurse hat off, put your health coach hat on, follow the laws of a health coach. And then when you're ready to go back into the nursing conversation, so let's just say you go into, maybe you're still working at a hospital, then you go in as a nurse. But when you're talking to, and I'm just going to clarify this, to patients, so to speak, you wouldn't sit and talk about food and sleep and all of that kind of stuff as a health coach. So you guys, my battery's dying. Hold on, let me plug in. Hold on a moment. I have two offices and I don't usually have to plug in this early, but we're using some bandwidth up here. So, okay. All right, plugged in, perfect. So just be really clear, Leslie, about how you make that defined line in the sand and that you don't step on either or. Okay, Illinois, this makes me nervous. Longtime Twitter friend who's a young RD and has it in for health coach. She wants us to disappear and she's making noise about it. Okay, well, I would absolutely block that person, first of all. Don't follow what she says. Don't listen to what she says and get away from her energy. She obviously, I think I know who this person is now, Kelly, that I've seen some posts by her. They were brought to my attention a couple of years ago when I started helping health coaches. I can tell you this much. I actually think I emailed her. So Kelly, you know what? If you want to message me that person's name, that would be great. And you can send that to my general email. It's carmenhunterhealth@gmail.com. And let me see if I'm on track with this. But here's the thing. People who make a lot of noise and try to get rid of other people in the wellness space have insecurities and low confidence in whatever they're doing. If she feels threatened by health coaches, that's her problem. But my recommendation to you is to stop paying attention to her. Get rid of her, get her off your Twitter list. And remember this, what we think about grows. So if she's trying to make a lot of noise and she's trying to make you disappear and make you nervous, it seems like it's working. You're only going to get more nervous and get more involved in what she's saying and feel more fearful and less confident. So get away from her. She's one person. She's one person. There are lots of RDs and dietitians out there that believe in what we're doing, for sure. Okay. Kelly says, I live in a red state. I know how much I can help people and realize I need to be careful about my wording. Absolutely. I'm in a red state too. I have been coaching in a red state for over 10 years. So, and I'm knocking on wood here. My approach has never been questioned by authorities, and it's basically as simple as it gets. I've actually gotten authorized by the state of Tennessee after looking at what I offer for my school. And there was absolutely no questions at all about what I do and how I teach coaches. So, yes. Yeah. Mary Louise says the best thing is Carmen's been teaching us how to coach safely from the start. It does guys that are skilled in my approach. Absolutely not, Mary Louise. You guys, I've been teaching you this from the very beginning. Yeah. And you're right, Linda. You can easily go down the slippery slope of the edge, and I'm glad you're a student with me. Absolutely. And you brought up the good point here. You're in a green state, but whether you're green, orange, yellow, or any of that, you guys, just act as if you're in a restricted state. Just act as if you're in a red state so that you don't have to worry. What's happening behind the scenes, you guys? What's happening behind the scenes is laws are changing. So if you set your business up in a green state, saying I've got freedom of speech, I can say whatever I want and put whatever I want, get ready, because down the road, there may be a change. So just act as if, right? Oh God, I wish Paula, or I'm sorry. Hi, Paula. Leslie said, can you repeat that statement? I have no idea when that happened or what it was, but let me know if you have any idea of what I was saying. You can always go back and listen to the replay. Where do I get the two options that I'm suggesting to diet for diabetes in this case? Okay, this is a good question. Acosta Vero, pretty name. So here's the thing. Health coaches know more about health and wellness than anybody I've ever met. Health coaches know more about diseases, conditions, and problems across the board, more than most people, more than a lot of general practicing doctors, more than a lot of functional doctors, more than a lot of people with licenses, degrees, all of that. I know more health coaches with more knowledge about that stuff, you guys, and I'm saying across the board, not specialized in one area, than most people do. Use your resources, use where you learned from, use your brain, use the knowledge that you have, use the resources and the credible people that are out there that are doing this. So here's what I do, and I teach about this too. How do you search for reliable and credible resources? It's very simple. Who did you use to get well? Who do you see that's out there making change and doing this, right? Who are the big names in the functional medical space? Because conventional medicine, it's important to understand the diagnoses these people are getting. And I air quote because I don't use those words when I'm working with clients. I never use diagnosis or cure or prevent or diet or nutrition or heal or any of that. So when I air quote, it's just me using the word because I need to explain it. So if someone were to come to me about that, I would put in Google, type 2 diabetes, natural approach or functional approach or naturopathic medicine or functional doctor. I use words that pertain to things that are outside conventional care. I do a little quick read, see if it's something that feels good to me, something that supports what I've learned over time. I've been studying health and wellness for 25 years. I have a ridiculous amount of stuff in my head. And I actually created an outline for coaches of 250 resources for coaches. And if you guys want that in the replay, I can share that out with the email. So you have to, that's where the work is. That's the work is, does this client seem like someone who would embrace a low carb lifestyle? Does this client seem like someone that would rather leap into a keto lifestyle? We know those two things are good for helping to relieve someone of type 2 diabetes or reverse it or whatever. So you provide those two resources and let them make that decision, right? So you don't have to learn everything about the keto diet. You don't have to learn everything about type 2 diabetes. You don't have to learn everything about what low carb is and all that. You just have to know enough to say, these are things that I have, that I understand, it can be helpful. Let me know what you choose to do. Do you see how this is, you guys? This is not me saying, here's your keto diet plan and your keto meal plan and your keto book and your keto links and your keto this. That's you saying to them, you should be doing the keto diet, okay? That's not your job. Your job is to say, I've heard this works. It's been my experience with other clients that these two things can be beneficial. And then you tell them, let me know what you decide to do. And you support them and you support them and you support them. No, neither one of those worked for me. I'm overwhelmed. Oh my God. Okay, what do we need to do to get you underwhelmed and support you? That's what a coach is for. We're not here for all of that other personalized, customized care. That is not a general approach. Okay. Yanni says, I'm not on Facebook. I just joined by Zoom. Can you put that website here in the chat again? I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. Hold on a minute. There we go. There's the thing again. Okay. And then I'm going to go back in just a moment here and finish up with a couple of other things I want to talk to you about. Hold on. Yep. Okay. That must've been when I shared my screen. Okay. So yes, Florida, I'm not sure. Look it up on Nutrition Advocacy. If it's shown as an orange state, then I guess it's an orange state, but they still have restrictions along the law, right? Yeah, I know, Linda, right? That's ridiculous. Anyone can contribute it to Wikipedia. It just makes me crazy. All right, Kelly says, I worry a lot that my official designation is called nutrition coach via Precision Nutrition. Okay, that just tells you straight up that every school or training program has a different method of approach. And my approach is not to put my toe over into the water in any capacity that anyone wants to question what I do and who I am. I'm not even going to put my baby toenail in the water of calling myself nutrition coach. No way. And you know what? It's a comfort thing. If you're okay with that and they give you that permission, then I hope that they taught you how to do this legally. And I hope that, I'm going to stop my share here for a minute. I hope that they have given you some really good quality legal advice on how to be able to navigate that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Robin says, I've never had a career in the health field. Enjoy talking with friends about health. Yes, I enjoy talking with friends about health too, until they don't leave me alone. And that's how it became a job. I started FDN, but didn't feel, felt uncomfortably like I was trying to be a practitioner. Most recently started Chris Kresser's new coach program. Yes, it is very comprehensive, and they emphasize scope of practice, but what is their scope of practice? So they teach a lot of practitioner and medical things in there. Make sure that you get support there. I don't know that Chris Kresser, somebody I've been following. He was a mentor of mine 12, 13 years ago when he first kind of came on the scene in a bigger way. It might have even been longer than that. And I knew eventually he was going to open a health coaching school. I actually reached out to him and asked if he'd be willing to let me go ahead and do that for him many, many years ago before he started his school, but I never heard back. So I'm sure it's a very good program because he's an amazing person when it comes to this. But if you feel confused about what you're allowed to do as someone with no letters behind your name, then yes, becoming a resource and sharing information, and can call yourself a health coach, you can, or call yourself a health educator or a life coach or whatever you want to call yourself, however it supports what you want to offer and bring to the world in a safe way. Okay. So I don't know enough about his program. I've heard it's comprehensive. I've also heard that it's very medically inclined too. So I don't know. All right. And I'm not here to dog anybody else's school at all. I'm not dogging the way anybody else is teaching health coaches. I'm telling you what I feel is a way for you to have a sustainable business as time goes on, to protect yourself, to feel comfortable, to build that entrepreneurial, successful health coaching business, and to be able to sleep at the same time at night. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Julie. Absolutely. I'd love to share guidance about this. This is one of my favorite topics. This is what I teach about. Denise says, I reached out to her because we both attend IIN. Yeah. She said IIN did not help her, but put her in touch with the attorney. Well, yeah. I mean, she's saying she went to their school, so she's advertising to them. Now, whether it's good advertising or bad, I don't know, but she should be getting support from that particular school. If anybody ever got any kind of, if one of my students ever got this kind of thing ever happened to her, I would support her through the process. I would support them through the process. I would put them in touch with attorneys that I know can help. I believe that is a responsibility of someone that's teaching coaches. That's what I'm doing here today. And this is just free me telling you what I think we can all do better and differently. Okay. All right. I will go back to those in just a moment. I want to go back to the letter. So let's go back to it for a moment, and then I see your questions, and I'm glad y'all are hanging in here. This is important stuff. Okay. So back to the screen here where she said, let's see here. The qualifications included having a bachelor's or graduate degree in a relevant field such as nutrition from an accredited institution, having 900 hours of education and experience approved by the state board of medicine, and passing the state's licensing exam. She had completed none of those things, just a certificate from IIN, right? Otherwise, a bachelor's degree in geography and a master's in education. But this is the norm, you guys. Health coaches are people who have gotten other degrees and gone into other businesses and are working in the corporate world, and they've gotten sick and they're tired and they want to they've either helped themselves or helped someone, and they want to do something more. That's what health coaching is for. So this is ridiculous to be scaring the crap out of coaches like this. But so anyway, this is the part that makes me even crazier. The health department opened an investigation. So they set her up, had an investigator pose as a potential customer over email. Oh my God. So can we just talk for a minute that this is a government agency, right? The health department's a government agency. They took very valuable time as a government agency to hire an investigator to go out and pose as a customer and meet her and order a cease and desist, right? Okay, so I want to say, if I remember this correctly, didn't she meet with someone over coffee? Does anybody remember that? Either way, they pose as a potential customer over email. And then it says she took the bait. Oh my God, she took the bait as if, and now I'm getting on a pedestal here, but she took the bait as if helping someone was something that was bad to do, that makes me sick. Then they made her pay $500 and $250 in fees. And then she lost the case. Okay, so far she lost the case. So let's just scroll down again. And then I got one other thing I want to share with you guys in a moment here. Okay, in other words, I'm fired up. The libertarian public interest law firm, the Institute for Justice, took up her case. Together they argued, which I think I might just email them. I'm going to write myself a note. I'm going to email them and just, this makes me, I'd love to be an advocate for people in all areas because it just makes me crazy. But then it says, Okay, they violated her right to freedom of speech, which I don't think that's necessarily a great approach to this particular thing, because it's so, I don't know, it's convoluted with the things that we can and can't say. But it says, they said giving advice on what an adult should buy at the grocery store is speech. Okay, couple things. Giving advice, fine. Making suggestions or recommendations, whatever. On what an adult should buy at the grocery store is speech. No, first of all, in my opinion, it's not speech, it's directive and prescriptive. If someone said to me, I need to know what I can buy to replace this sugar that I've been putting in my coffee, okay, I'm making this up. And I were to say to them, you know, there's this great product called Swerve, you need to buy that. It's keto friendly. And since we're going to put you on a keto diet, you should probably look into getting Swerve. So let me know if you can't find it, then you can buy it here. You, should do, could do, look at this, right? Instead of saying, okay, so there's this great product called Swerve that I hear a lot of people have good luck with when it comes to replacing sugar. I'm not sure if it's something that you would be, if it'd be right up your alley or not, but I'm going to get you a link. And you can take a peek at what's in it and maybe go out and get a sample if you feel like that's what you want to do or whatever. Conversation, how we provide information. So I would never tell someone what they should buy at a grocery store. And then it says, further, the law firm called their requirement that people giving nutrition advice be qualified and licensed to give nutrition advice have the effect of giving qualified and licensed nutritionists a monopoly. Well, not really, because nutritionists went to school and got a degree, so they could do that. Health coaches did not. So I'm kind of like standing up here for what, you know, the way that Florida kind of came after her because of the way that it was delivered, the information was delivered. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, long story short here, it says, let's see here. The DNPA was enacted to promote public health and safety. Promoting health and safety is clearly a legitimate state interest. Well, yeah. But we're still promoting a pure food pyramid that depends solely on grains. So they're not really sticking by that either, are they? And states are given great latitude to regulate and license professions in furtherance of this interest. Well, then they should put somebody out there telling someone to change the food pyramid. I mean, come on. Okay, so I'm done with that. But all I'm saying is, like, I see a lot of different things that could have been done differently from the coach's perspective when setting up her business. If I were to review her business before she launched it into the world, I can pretty much guarantee you that we would have diminished, not completely taken away this happening. No, there's no approach, you guys, that's absolutely foolproof. Even one of my students can end up in this position. I don't claim to have the answer to all of it, but I can tell you this. Reducing the risk and liability for a health coach, if I were given an opportunity to see how this was set up in the beginning, would have been very helpful, okay? Because if she's saying that she didn't get the support she needed from IIN, which is what we're understanding, then perhaps that training was missing from it in the first place. It's just an observation. Okay, now, a couple other things, and I'm gonna go back to the chat, then I'm gonna go to the Q&A, and it's we're 47 minutes in. Here's what I wanna say. I asked the question, you guys, on the registration form for a reason. And I'm clicking on them over here. And the question was, what is your brief definition of a low-risk health coaching business? And I know the people that have been following me absolutely can tell who these people are. Here's one answer. Using safe language with clients, not giving specific advice, providing resources for them to choose what works best for them. Yay, Tanya, I'm calling you out. Awesome. Couple other things. I'm not going to call anybody else out with names or anything because most of these are like this. One person even wrote, huh? Huh? It was the answer. Don't know, not sure, couldn't tell you, not treating conditions but improving health, but how, right? Let's see here. A couple other answers that were really good. Here we go. I know this person, one that educates on health issues and helps clients analyze information to arrive at the decision that is best for them. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Another one that kind of, hold on a minute, and then we're going to get back to something, but let's see. One that is low risk would look like entering into a business contract with someone and expecting minimal risk, but that doesn't really put out the definition of how do you practice? How do you create that business that is low risk for you, right? All right, so let me go over here. Thank you, Kelly. That would be great. And thank you, Denise, for that. I have a way with words. I just have been in this business for so long. And have had to navigate the same scary areas, but thankfully when I was navigating them, it was a long time ago. And I learned early on, I tend to have a nose for business and things like that. And I just had a feeling that I needed to be protective of how I was helping people in a way that would protect my business as the future went on. Fonda says, I'm trying to finish up my MD certification, but not a degree. My goal is to be a natural health coach. I'm in Virginia, which is no, it's not a blue state. That's politics. We're talking about, Fonda, we're talking about the colors of nutrition, advocacy.org, which is orange, yellow, green, and red. Do you think it's okay if I call myself a health coach, or should I stick with natural health professional or something like that? I want to educate people on natural health and wellness by offering programs, suggesting ways to support good health using non-toxic programs. Health coach is fine, Fonda, absolutely. Health coach, yes. I wouldn't use the word natural because it sounds more like, naturopath, naturopathic doctor, that kind of thing. Every time I see a word, I think, what would it mean to me if I saw it as a general, like just a person, right? Like Joe Public sees a title, natural health coach. I would automatically go naturopath or natural doctor, what does that mean exactly? Someone calls themselves an integrative nutrition coach. I'm like, so are they integrative doctor? Are they an integrative nutritionist? I don't think health coach. Health coach is what we are. Why are we not calling ourselves health coaches, right? That's what we should be doing. Okay. All right. Do you want to operate as a red state always? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I think so. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry. I get distracted when my hair goes crazy balls like that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Even if Virginia is a green state, operate as a red state is my advice. Okay. So this is just my opinion and my advice. Y'all can take it and throw it in the trash after we're done today. You can take it and you can, change your ways, whatever you want to do. This is just my opinion and just what I have experienced with lots of coaches and lots of years of experience coaching. Okay. I spoke with some coaches in Florida who told me they're one of the only states in the U.S. which have a budget to fund investigators for violation of this law. Other states may have similar laws, but actively don't look for violators. That's disgusting. Tanya, that's disgusting. I agree. Yeah. And you know what? The monopoly argument is the same with any situation or anything, you guys. And I've had this really interesting conversation with this guy that I'm dating this weekend. We talked about just how everything is a method of controlling us. It's a method of controlling how we are able to help people in this space, how we are able to express ourselves. And that's with everything. We're talking about vaccines. We're talking about food. We're talking about everything. So if we are able to express ourselves and to support other people in a way that keeps us within that boundary, right? And within the scope of profession, my scope of profession is very different from other people's. Then we have a way to create a successful business, generate revenue that feels good to us because we're doing it in an authentic and ethical way. And that's what it's all about. We do deserve to be paid for what we're doing. And I want you guys to keep this in mind too, and then I'll go back to that in a moment. But how many times or how many people are out there doing things to make money that don't have a certification in what they're doing? And I'm talking about, okay, here's an example. So where I used to live in Clarksville, where I'm now living in Chattanooga. So if anyone's near Chattanooga or in this area, hit me up and let's go have some coffee. I love to meet people from around the country. Here's the thing. People in Clarksville were making soaps. They were making deodorants and perfumes and yogurts and sauerkraut and all of that. And they were selling those things at this local pharmacy or a little local shop there, right? They had a sticky label on it, maybe a faded out ingredient label, and they were selling those things because they learned how to make them and they had a passion for making them. Did they have to follow some health department regulation? Probably. They probably had to go and make sure that their ingredients were approved or whatever, but they didn't go to a 4-year college. They did not go and get a master's in anything. They did something they figured out that worked for other people and that they loved to do, and they followed the laws within that state to make sure they did that, right? So to think that you have to do all of these other things to do what you love is just putting either an excuse on it or creating a feeling of having no confidence in this business. And that's what I'm trying to take away. I want you to feel confident. I want you to use your passion. I want you to be out there helping people, but I want you to do it in a way that gives our profession credibility so that when people hear what a health coach is, they go, oh, health coaches are these people that bridge that gap, right? And I've got a post going up on Instagram today of a bridge. We are the bridge between the client and what a doctor can call a patient or a dietitian or whoever can call a patient and the practitioner that they're working with. So even people that have dietitians need a health coach. I know, mind blowing, right? Because dietitians are going to set that meal plan together for them. But what are they going to do about the fun and the movement and the stress perception and the spirituality and the trauma that may be underlying the disease and the problems people have? What are they doing about that? Probably nothing. Maybe that's why they feel threatened. I don't know. Okay. Okay, going to get to the end of the chat, then I'm going to the Q&A, and we will roll through those and wrap up. But okay, Joan is saying, IIN tells their students to call themselves Integrative Nutrition Health Coach. Okay. No comment. You know how I feel about that, Joan, because you and I have talked outside of a webinar, but I love your advocate passion. I always feel supported and empowered when I listen to you. I thank you so much for that. I definitely a passionate person. I don't, if I feel strongly about something, and I try to go at it. I try to go at it and help to elicit change. So I don't know what's going to come out of me emailing them, these people, but I feel like I could absolutely make a difference. I've spoken to commissioners. I've been president of a nonprofit organization. I've been on committees for advocating for animals and children. So I have a passion for it, and I have no fear of expressing myself. So maybe that's where it comes from. Okay, and then I can't read this name, but remember who has something to lose if we're successful. Big pharma, big medicine, big food, all of whom are powerful, influential, have lots of money to throw at shutting us up. Amen, Anita. Yes, okay, there's your name. It came up. You're absolutely right. And that's kind of the same thing that's going on here. It's the same thing that's going on here. Okay. All right. Renee says, I took the IAHC International Health Coach Certification exam through my state, and the certification is good for 3 years. What are your thoughts? Is it worth it? Good question. What does it make you feel like to have it is the first question, Renee, that I have for you is, do you feel better because you have it? Do you still practice safe delivery and safe approaches when helping your clients? Did you have to pay a bunch of money? And do you have to do any continuing education to uphold that? After the 3 years, you have to pay again and retake a class. Do you work in a practitioner's office where they require you to have it? Why did you have it? Like, I have a lot of questions about that before I can say, is it worth it? Doesn't matter if it's worth it to me. Is it worth it to you? I am an entrepreneur health coach that helps people and empowers them to create sustainable change, moving away from a standard American diet and lifestyle. And you can say diet when you say standard American because it's tied to that comment, that doesn't want to be under the thumb of any kind of anything. And so that's why I practice the approach that I do. It's no different for me in what I teach than if my mom were to come over and say, oh, you know what? I'll tell you what, here's a good example. My dad, he had a spot on his finger, and this is a couple of years ago, and he said it was excruciatingly painful, okay? Excruciatingly painful thing on his finger. He'd been to a walk-in clinic. He had been doing the ER because it was keeping him up at night. He went back to a regular doctor. They'd given him shots. They'd given him creams. I said, send me a picture and let me see what it looks like. Let's pretend he's a client because he is my health coaching client, right? And he sent me a picture of it, and I looked at it, and I said, I think you've got a herpetic whitlow. I think you've got a herpes virus in your finger. So I'm going to send you a link and a resource because this is just a guess. And I want you to print it out. I want you to take it to the doctor, and I want you to talk to them about what antivirals you can take or use to get this under control as soon as possible. Once you get a confirmed diagnosis, okay, because we're telling him to go see his doctor. I'm not diagnosing. Let me know, and then we'll talk about what natural things we can look at as far as considering something that you can do differently for a virus, right? To tamper down that viral load that you've got going on. That's what I would say to a client. That is what I would say. I would guide them in a way. I would talk to them in that way that makes them know that I'm just providing information. This was my dad, and I still followed those guidelines, you guys. And it turned out to be a herpetic whitlow, and he got put on a cyclovir, which is a link I sent him to look at. And that thing was gone in no time. Sure, there's a little bit of a scar, but the pain was gone. That's what I would do if I were helping a client. I'm not going to diagnose him with a herpetic whitlow and then give him a bunch of antivirals like cat's claw and Lorazepam and all of that. I'm going to give him information. I'm going to empower him. I'm going to send him to back to his doctor with it. And even if he didn't go to his doctor with it and decided to follow my suggestions, that's on him, not on me. Okay. All right. Curious, is Florida considered a red state? Okay, we already covered that one. So just look at the thing, and if it's orange, but just act as if, right? Karen says, I'm a graduate at IIN. Should I be using the title Integrative Nutrition Health Coach or not? I'm an IIN graduate too from 2013, but I've been coaching for 3 years prior to that, and I didn't ever embrace that title and never would and never will, but that's just me. I would not, doesn't give you any more clout. It doesn't give you this one up on anything. Letters don't do that. Names, titles, none of that does that. The only thing that makes a difference, you guys, in how you look to the world and who you help is, are you helping them? Are you helping them in an authentic way that feels good? Are you doing it in a way that doesn't cause harm? Are you giving them sustainable ways to go out into the world and help themselves? Because if you're a health coach creating clients for life, that's unethical. If you're holding back information just to drag this thing out so you can make more money, that's unethical. But if you're ethically saying, here's the information at my disposal right now, I think would be helpful to you, I think you should look into, maybe you should consider, let me know what you need from me to support your decision, then the title, what you call yourself, the letters behind your name, all of that stuff doesn't matter. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And I give a certification completion thing, you guys. If I'm telling you it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Anyway, all right. So it's a comfort level, Karen, but I would never, ever, ever use that title. That's just me. And, you know, I mean, anyway. Okay. What does it mean? Is it illegal for health coaches to provide? What does it mean? Is it illegal for health coaches to provide nutrition counseling? I don't know. What do you mean? What does it mean? It is illegal for health coaches to provide nutrition counseling because we're not nutritionists or dietitians. So I don't know what the front part of that meant. If you want to elaborate, happy to continue the conversation in the Q&A, just bring it down more. Dr. Hyman promotes health coaches. I thought he went before Congress. I don't know if he does or not, but yeah, he promotes health coaches. Of course he does. He's a member of SAFM, the School of Applied Functional Medicine, and they train health coaches. Yes, so I don't know what, I mean, if that's just a comment, then yes, you're right, Renee, he does. Karen, your answer to previous question for title, is health and wellness coach acceptable? Can we use the word health in title? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yep. As long as you're not calling yourself a healthcare provider. Can you give suggestions on what to eat, provide alternatives for breakfast, dinner, etc.? You can say, you know, here, if someone says to you, I was told to go on a keto diet for my diabetes, what can you tell me I can eat? I would say there are two places I like to look to learn more about the keto food plan. I'm going to give you 2 links to those, and I know they have food lists. Then give them the list and give them the site. We are not to be doing meal planning. First of all, that's a waste of your business time. If you don't have a successful business that you're happy with a monthly income that supports what you're trying to do with your life, whether it's supplemental or not, and you don't have things rolling and you aren't enjoying your own personal life, then you don't need to be learning more about food, and you don't need to be creating meal plans. You don't need to be learning more about chronic diseases. You need to be building your business. Health coaches are entrepreneurs before we're health coaches. Okay, that's what we are. We are entrepreneurs first. So providing and giving suggestions on all of that stuff beyond simple resources is not a good use of your time. You can, as long as it's general information, you're doing it in a right way, Acosta, but I would not waste my time doing that. Use your resources, send them out, take 60 seconds to do it, but don't reinvent the wheel. Again, yes, IIN promotes using an integrated nutrition health coach. The pricing is what they suggest using when you're a student. What pricing is what they suggest using when you're a student? The $95 a session. After completing 30 weeks of school, they tell you to charge $95. Tell me if I'm reading that right, please, Renee. Is that right? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Julie, what do you suggest for health coaches like myself who, based on what I've learned from well-known and well-credentialed plant-based doctors, believe eating a vegan style of eating? Do I completely leave the V word out of my workshops or personal coaching, even if I believe so strongly in its many advantages? I've found many people cringe when I mention I'm vegan, although I really can't stand labels. How do I quickly and easily describe my beliefs around food and healthy eating? Thank you. You're welcome, Julie. Here's the thing. You can say quickly and easily, and I agree with you, I would not be, unless somebody asks you or wants specifics on why you're a vegan doesn't really matter when it comes to what they're trying to achieve. I've been a paleo primal eater for years and years and years. I have been a health coach to vegetarians. I've been a health coach to vegans. I've been a health coach to keto people. I don't impose what I believe onto people outside of the basic foundation of whole food. So I would say, I focus on a whole food lifestyle and whatever that looks like for you, because let me just say this, if you are, and I feel like I'm kicking a dead horse here, but I was a non-red meat, non-pork eater, very minimal anything related to protein for 23 years. And I was a staunch believer everyone should be just eating mostly vegetables and no red meat. And then I got sick. And then my iron dropped so low that I couldn't function. So for anybody to think that they know what is the best thing for anyone else without, just because based on their own experience, that's not a healthy way to think, and it's not a great way to health coach. So my suggestion is to tell them that you focus on a whole food lifestyle that will support their goals and to help them to achieve results. That's what I would say. So you don't even need to bring vegan into it. Just, or you can say, I focus on a high vegetable, plant-based food plan, right? But I also meet people where they are. You can do that very easily. Absolutely. Let's see here. But again, if that's an area that you focus on, you can add an a la carte service at the end of your fees and services page and say that you can do a vegan food plan. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm answering it again. So here we go. But you can add that. And if you're not using a la carte services on your plans and your fees and services, and you don't have those ready to go, you guys should be. Totally should be. All right. Renee says, I graduated from IM last year. I'm glad I found you last fall. I'm glad you did too. And I'm not sure what makes you mad, but maybe me too. Kelly says, do you have a personal prediction on whether you see this issue getting worse or better in the next 10 years? Stealth attacks from health coaches by governing bodies. Oh, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, which is why it's important. Hold on, I got to have a drink of water because I can talk, can't I? Those of you that know me know I can go on. It's not that I like to hear myself talk. It's that there's so much I want to share with you guys that it's important. So yes, I think it's going to get worse. It's just like anything else. Anytime we try to bring awareness to grass-fed, humanely raised meat, we hear about the dangers of too much gas from cows. Anytime we try to improve on, more greens, eat more greens, all of a sudden there's listeria and all these food problems and all this greens and stuff are being pulled off the shelves. It's crazy. It's control. It's everyone trying to have a finger in what we're doing in our own lives here. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I read an article last week, you guys, about something in, I want to say it was Florida too. I'm never moving there. No offense to people who live there, but I heard something about how they had to pass a law so people could grow food on their property. Is this for real? Am I hearing this for real? So yes, I think it's going to get worse, which just tells me even more how important it is that you know how you're talking, how you're delivering information, and that you're staying in that scope of profession at all times. Yeah, like stuff sold at a farmer's market. That's a great example. People can go to a farmer's market and they don't need some government agency to determine whether or not their cucumber has glyphosate or GMOs or anything like that. It's crazy. So why are health coaches being pressured to feel and being pushed to feel like they have to know all of this stuff and they have to have all these letters behind their name and they have to all these things? You guys, if you have a passion and you know how to deliver and you know that you're doing it authentically, just start coaching and helping people. Do it in the right way. If you're sharing information about herbs or essential oils that might improve chronic pain or at least the mental side of coping with pain, is that safe? It's all about delivery, Dennis. So here's the thing, like this. Somebody asked me recently, do you use lavender on your dog for thunderstorms? We'd been having a lot of thunderstorms in the area, and I said, yes, I actually do. I put it on my wrists, and then I'll pet her so that it floats by her face, but doesn't get in her eyes or anywhere she can lick it. And that's how I use it. And here's a link on how lavender can be supportive for dogs. I'm using dogs as an example just because it's my last experience with it. Okay. So sharing the resources, using the language, delivering the safe information, leaving it up to the client. Who's going to come to you and say, and this is just a question, right? Just asking this. Who's going to come to you and say to you, I heard that you told that client that lavender would help to ease anxiety, and you put it on her wrist and then you stuck it under her nose and then you told her she could drop it in her water and drink it. I heard all that. You did? You heard that? Who told you that? Because that's not what happened. I simply sent her a link for a resource on lavender. Oh, and it's right here. I can show it to you. See, here's the email that I sent. Oh, okay. Null and void, done with conversation. But if you delivered it in a way that made it questionable about whether or not you said, yes, you should rub it on your temples, you should put it here, you should do it there, this is how much, this is the brand, this is when, this is how, do this, then yeah, you're putting yourself in a situation where you could be risking you'd be putting yourself at risk. So it's all about delivery. Andrea Nakayama offers, yes, I know she does. She's I love Andrea. I actually interviewed her a couple of years ago. What is your opinion of functional nutrition and lifestyle practitioner nomenclature? I never get that word right since this has so much more training and education involved. It's still a health coaching certification, correct? I love Andrea. I think she is one of the smartest, most bright people. I think that what she offers to coaches to learn is, it's undeniably beneficial. Absolutely. That's why I have her in my course. I have her as one of my interviews. I see her at the Mindshare event. I'm not going this year, but I've seen her every year for almost 5 years. Utmost respect for her. Absolutely. But I can't speak to the program or to what she says you can call yourself or do, because I'm not in it, and I don't want to speak to something I'm not educated on when it comes to that particular training program. That's all I can say about that, but absolutely love her. It's really going to come down to what you feel comfortable with. That's what it's going to come down to, because ultimately the programs that you go to school for, or you get your certificate of completion for, they're not going to basically be there and move in with you and hold your hand and help you coach and teach you side by side. If they're providing you with all the great information to avoid all this, fantastic. But I don't know a lot of people that are doing that. Sorry, I just don't. $97 when I went through. What did you go through? Oh, $97 when you went through IIN as your suggested pay rate. How's that going to pay for the $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 that you're paying to the school? How is that going to pay for that? I don't agree with that. But that's me. That's just me. Okay, real quick here, going back to the chat, just making sure that I'm not missing anything. Thank you so much, Carmen. So helpful. You're welcome, Christina. Kelly, when I graduated in 2013, me too. And I don't even use the word graduated because it didn't feel like anything. When I finished IIN's training in 2013, I signed up to be an ambassador and never did anything with it because I just felt like I needed so much more. And I'd already been coaching for 3 years. So they recommended $199 a month for starting. Her pricing per session is similar. If she's been working for many years, she should have been increasing her prices. Or we say she should have been, but maybe she was comfortable with that. Maybe her husband, maybe it was supplemental income and she loved doing it. I don't know. Let's see here. I can listen to you all day, Carmen. I'm at work watching this. That's fun. Okay. Yes, that's for real. No front yard gardens. That was the story, right, Tanya? Unbelievable. Food in your front yard, Florida law, but not sure if it's statewide or local. Yeah, great topic. Okay. My husband wants me to move back to Florida. It makes me nervous, even though you've taught me how to do it safely. Okay. So the thing is, so there we go. There we are. Yeah. I know I just graduated. I mean, it even makes me kind of feel kind of goofy about my program when people say, when I graduate with my certificate of completion from your school, can I call myself this? I'm like, you can call yourself a dandelion picker for all I care. Graduating, I don't know. For me, it's this. If someone signs up to go to my school, okay, this is how I feel about people, about running schools and health coaching and then finishing the course. If you sign up to come to my school, then when you get done, when you're finished, it's 12 weeks. I want to know that when you're done with it, that anything else that you sign up for or anything you want to do, like become a gut health expert or a fermentologist or whatever, is because you have a vast interest in that topic, not because you feel like you need it to be a good health coach. You know, our motto is no question goes unanswered and no need goes unmet. So if there is a need for a coach to get something from us as a team that runs this school because they need it to run their business, I don't care. I mean, no one's ever told me they needed something yet. So knock on wood. But then again, you know, Linda is a student. Linda Noel. If Linda said to me, Carmen, I need you to give me a dialogue. I need to know exactly how I can come back to people until it becomes a habit to me so I can be comfortable with that. Well, I've already created several of those documents. I can say, go to week 6, module this, or week 4, wherever it is, and then say, if there's anything missing from there, let me know and I'll come up with something for you. Because the thing is, you guys, is if you're entering into a health coaching training program of any kind, you need to be starting to coach people right away so you can make back your tuition, or at least be setting up that business. And then when you finish, you should have that support. You should have the support of wherever you went to school to help you navigate the first couple of months or times or years or whatever you need to get out there and do it. Now, the caveat here for me is this. If you go all the way through my program and you don't start health coaching, then you need to hire me to help you over your mindset stuff, because we provide everything we can. If it's your mind that's getting you stuck, or your fear or your lack of confidence or any of those things, we can explore that and talk about that until the cows come home, until you're rid of the fear or the problem that you have around this. Because it's not for lack of content. It's not for lack of training. It's not for lack of anything. Now, I can't speak for other places, but if you went to another school and you've got a completion and certification or whatever, and you feel uncertain and you need that push or that shove or that mindset or that coaching, whatever it is, and they don't provide it for you, if it were me, I would be like, all right, here's what I feel I didn't get. How can I go about getting that? And I would ask them for it. You know, and maybe I'm outside the box on that too. I'm happy to be the black sheep. I don't mind that in my space, because I want to see the world getting healthier. And I feel like we have too many restrictions around why people are not getting well, but even more restrictions that health coaches are either putting on themselves or are being put on them from the media and the marketing that's coming at us on why they shouldn't be able to help people, or how they need to spend, you know, more time learning about other things. This is not a difficult thing to do. Helping people should be simple. Okay. But we've got to do it in the right way. We honor the experts out there that are doing it, right? That are doing the gut programs, that are doing this. I mean, I just had coffee with Summer Bach the other day, and we were talking about this, and we were saying, you know, basically she is a gut building expert, in my opinion. I absolutely, if I want to know how to do it, I'm going to go to her. Okay. I'm not going to recreate a gut building program and try to teach it and be her. I know that Summer's my person. You know, Jody Cohen, she's Vibrant Blue Oils. We had a glitch with the update on Zoom the other day, so we didn't get to do our webinar. If I want to know about an oil for the parasympathetic response system and how you put it on the mass side, whatever, going to Jody. I'm not going to write an article or a paper or a plan for someone on how to do how to use oils. So to do that does not diminish how much you know, okay? So many people think that if they don't create the program, write the meal plan, teach this, teach that they are looked at as an expert. Well, be the expert health coach, not the expert gut person, not the expert oil person, not the expert brain person. Be the expert health coach that knows how to help people in a safe way. Okay. All right. Anything else, you guys? I see a Q&A question in the Q&A. I'll go to that in a moment. Kim says, I'm a certified health coach with an option to upgrade to tier 2, which covers anatomy and body systems for another $1,900. Oh my God. You maybe reconsider and think through this. Not oh my God to you, Kim. I'm oh my Godding I'm oh my Godding, just period. Really? I mean, okay. So let me say this too. Oh my God, I need your program, Denise says. Well, Denise, you can schedule a call with us. We love to talk to people and we don't put pressure on people. And if you guys want that link, I can grab it for you. But the point of this is that, again, it's just another way that, and I'm really trying to be smart about how I say this, okay? It sounds to me like profit chasing when people are, and if you guys want to book a call, you can grab it and book it. We have great people talking to people, but it sounds like profit chasing to me. If you don't actually get on the phone with somebody when you have questions about a program, or you don't actually get that support, that live support, at least every other week or something, or in a Facebook group, or get your questions answered, then what are you getting from that? All that knowledge you're getting, but no way to deliver the information or to provide it to the client or to stay safe within it. I don't understand that. You don't need to know about anatomy and the body systems to be able to be a health coach. You need to know a good practitioner to refer people to that have major problems and chronic problems, and then you fill in the holes of what they're not getting from their doctor. This is simple stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, let me look at the Q&A, and then I'll tell you one more thing. Okay, Julie says, thank you so much. You're kind and knowledgeable. Thank you for generosity. You're welcome. Oh, I'm not always kind. Like when somebody gets me fired up about, I don't know about you guys, but I'm like an 8 and a 2 on the Enneagram. I'm a change maker. I'm a go-getter. I can't even hold it back. When I see things happening that I know should be different, it's very hard for me. But I've learned over the years how to be professional and objective when it comes to sharing my opinion and to seeing things change, and to open my mind that someone else may have a different opinion and idea, and showing me facts and statistics to help me change my opinion. So far, I'm just not seeing, I'm not seeing a lot of reason why health coaches need to be spending all this time learning about other conditions and problems and diseases and all of that. I'm not. You can learn that as you go along. You should be learning that as you go. And I think one of the reasons is, and tell me if I'm right or wrong here, since we're in conversation mode now, it's an hour and 20 past the hour that we started, is that I think that one of the things that is a big myth for health coaches is that if you don't know everything that other people know about health, and if you don't have a bunch of letters behind your name, and you don't have a degree, and you're not able to talk about bodily systems and all of that stuff, that you don't have value. And that's just not true. It's just not true. I have learned more from my own health journey. I did a webinar on using your health journey last week for this reason. I learned more on my health journey and through the experience of helping others with every single problem you can come up with than I ever could have learned through a classroom. And also the thing is, you guys, is that I built a business based on testimonials. I never did an ad. I didn't fall for any of the marketing and positioning and build your list and all that. I had 150 people on my list when I sucked at making a list too, by the way. I couldn't even figure out MailChimp. I'm like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. So I built a business with a wait list in a community. I wasn't even online yet. This was in 2000, at the end of 2008 or 9. I don't remember when I officially said, oh, I could do this on top of everything else I'm doing. I didn't get any of the certifications. I practiced for almost 3 years without certifications, without training, without a mentor, without anybody, and became very busy very quickly because I knew that I had something that could make a difference for other people. And all I did was ask them if it made a difference in your life. If our 3-month relationship and everything I suggested to you helped you, can you just tell somebody? Can you put it on Facebook? Can you tag me? Can you just share what I did to make a difference for you? Can you write me a testimonial? And people were happy to do it. So I think we need to stop chasing the shiny objects, stop going after all of these things that promise that we're going to have success and build our lists and all that, and just start getting to the business of helping people in a safe way. It's really simple. It really is. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap up. Real quick here. Claudia. Yes. Hi, Claudia. I didn't even see you on here. I've been coaching for 5 years and I've always started with your 7 foundations. I've gone on to learn more about programs of self-study, but most people are not doing the basics. Absolutely. And she outlines them here. Sleep, optimization, stress perception, not management or reduction, whole food, safe movement, fun, spirituality, and addressing old trauma. Every single human being with a pulse is a niche. Every single human being with a pulse needs to be making sure that we're optimizing these areas of our lives. If we're not doing that, if our clients aren't even doing the basic stuff, what business do we have putting them on a detox or a cleanse or an elimination plan or an exercise program or a meditation program even, if we don't even know that they're doing the basic stuff? If somebody went to Wendy's and picked up meals for their family, I would absolutely not be like, okay, now that everybody's had their Wendy's, let's take a 15-minute meditation session and let's talk about our trauma. Come on. Their brains aren't even ready to hear that they might have a problem. Their brains aren't even ready to hear, how do we get out of this fight or flight rat race that we've been on? So if you're not even talking to them about, when's the last time you went out and had a good time? When's the last time you laughed? Like, I'm talking deep belly laughing, grab your gut, can't control yourself. I did that yesterday and the day before and the day before. And I'm bragging about it because I learned how important fun is to have in your life and how much it just changed everything for me to learn how important fun is as an adult. If you're trying to help your clients and they're not out there having fun, huge miss. Huge miss, because what's all that work for if they don't know how important fun is, right? I remember the first time I thought about adding fun to the foundations before I opened the school. And it was when my son and I were out on a tire swing. It was after school. He said, park right here, Mom. We're going to the tire swing. I'm like, but the driveway's right there. I mean, like, all we had to do is go up the driveway and then come to the swing. And he goes, no, right here. I'm like, okay. So we parked the car, we raced across the yard. We got to the tire swing. We both had our turn. And I have pictures from that day. And it was just that moment where I went, I felt like this feeling, like I hadn't unleashed the fun in me in so long that it felt like a foreign feeling. Does anybody know what that feels like? Well, that's your clients today. They're running around trying to get it all done. They're doing the latest trendy diet. They're thinking that they're terrible if they don't meditate. They're all of these things that they're being marketed to, and they don't have a health coach in to say, can we just start with the basic stuff here? Can we just forget all this stuff that's being told to you? And can we just get to the basics? I can almost guarantee you, actually can, because I've done this with clients, that they're going to be like, oh my God, yes, thank God you're not going to tell me that I have to take all these supplements and I have to give up all the things that I love. Thank you. What do you mean by basics? Let's do that. That sounds doable. And then you say to them, which one of these 7 things sounds like the easiest thing for us to look at today? How can we go about this in a way that makes you feel good? So when I say health coaching is simple, I'm saying get back to the basics of what human being needs. Stop all the fancy crap that you're learning out there. Stop thinking you have to know it all. And let's just take a deep breath as health coaches. Let's stop looking at the scary stuff that they're putting out there, that's trying to scare us away from helping people. And let's do this in a safe way. Then you won't have to worry about being scared, right? All right. So again, once again, I've gone over. I always go over in my trainings. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see here. You said, thanks, Dennis. An off-topic comment on the website, getting an error on the health coach package. Yeah, because the packages aren't up right now. We don't have, we're literally this morning, we're removing the shop. We're moving things around. So I'm not surprised you're getting an error. As long as you can access just getting to the actual page, I appreciate the comment for sure. You're using the Chrome on a MacBook, yeah. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. But that particular page is not viewable to the public right now anyway. But you should be getting this. Is the success call page working? Can you tell me that? Because that one should come up where, you know, yeah. Okay. Oh, there's me. It's always funny to pull up a page that then you see yourself there. It's always weird. Okay. All right, you guys. So thank you for that, Dennis. I appreciate it. Thank you for all of the input and for sticking. We've had almost 100% attendance rate this whole time. So I know this is a topic we need to talk more about. And just as an FYI, you guys, if you're, I'm going to try and grab this for you. If you are a student or a mentorship group member, I am doing a how to help clients with labs. You guys already have all that training. I'm going to teach you how to actually help your clients with labs without going to a lab training and all of that. And if anybody listens to this on my business page and says, that's irresponsible of you, which by the way, I get all those kinds of messages all the time. I get messages from people telling me that I can't believe you're giving people, the ability to help people with their health after 12 weeks in a program. Well, why don't you get with me? Let's go live, whoever you are out there trolling my stuff, and let's have a conversation and I'll tell you how I help people. I got nothing to hide. I don't have anything under the covers. There's nothing crazy going on. I'm just telling the truth about the easiest way to help people. So, because it's based on experience, but I get so much hate stuff. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so I understand. I feel, let's see here, Anita, I agree about feeling like I have to understand, know all the health stuff. I know better now, but it still comes up sometimes. That's okay. When it comes up, just see it go away. Oh, look at that. I should know more about that leaky. What was that? That's what I do. And if something comes across, oh, the latest on thyroid research. Okay. If I need to know it, I will. All right. So true. Laughter and fun are so important. Yes. Well, Nita, we need to be having more fun if it feels foreign, for sure. Let's get our gut grabbing laughter out. And let's just remember that whatever we teach to people, we have to have learned on our own. We have to have learned that on our own. So always be working on yourselves, always be supporting each other and lifting each other up. And here is my last part. Go to the Institute for Functional Health Coaching Facebook site. That's the page I go live in all the time and share this information. It's where I'm kind of starting to live. Go to our page, book a call. This isn't a book a call so we can pressure you into signing up. Book a call and get some questions answered that I didn't answer today, or to see what we're all about and see if we have any fast action bonuses going on right now. I don't know. I don't do that part of it. I just tell people, go there, talk to my people because they're great. And we don't accept everyone, by the way. We do turn people away because health coaching should be done ethically and authentically with a good delivery. And a lot of times we have conversations where people don't understand that. And that's not what we want to promote. We're looking to disrupt the industry so we can all be helping people and doing the right thing. Oh, okay. Anita says, I meant for them. Excellent. Good. Okay, guys, have a great rest of the day and a great rest of the week. And please, if you go into, we have a couple of groups, the Institute for Functional Health Coaching business page, go there where I'm going live. Then we have some groups that'll go out in your replay that you can grab and join us wherever you are. They're free groups. If you are new to the health coaching space, or if you're already doing it, but you just need that push over the edge, we've got a group for that too, where I do live support. And it's my favorite thing to do, is to come in and help you guys and really just help get you over the edge. So I also do private mentoring. If you want some information on that, you can email me at carmenhunterhealth@gmail.com, and I'm happy to help push you over the edge and get you over whatever confidence issues you have and help you develop that safe practice you're looking to achieve. So have a great day. Thanks again. Appreciate everybody. Bye. Bye, Robin. Bye, Denise. Bye, everybody.